we're going to have a town hall discussion because the power is in the people, in all of us. So, were you moved by this? Did this touch you? Did this just inspire you a little? Or were you moved? And if you're moved, do you want to do something about it? And if you want to do something about it, now's the time for you to commit on the record to say, this is what I'm going to do about it. Now, we're not going to be legalistic about this, although, where's my friend Anita? Anita is here. Anita, yes. Oh, she's an inspiration. She's a courageous leader. She is going to help us organize this. But don't look at this as like an obligation. Look at this as a tool, a best practice to help you follow through on, we all want to get thinner, we all want to work out better, we all want to eat less. Let's hold ourselves accountable and let's get the community to help us. That's a best practice. So, who wants to break the ice? You get to say, and my job as a moderator is to move this along so you don't get to talk long and you don't get 5 takeaways. You get 1 takeaway unless you're super articulate, then I might let you have 1 point with 2 subpoints, okay? But who wants to break the ice of who was touched, what was your number 1 takeaway, and what do you want to go on the record committing to do about it? The first one's always the hardest. All right, Peter raised his hand. Stand up, Peter. Number 1. It's your number 1 takeaway.
My number 1 takeaway was the people I met that I intend to connect with afterwards because I think I may have something for them, but more importantly to me, because I am selfish, they have something for me in what I'm doing in the community. And my what I commit to
what are you going to do about
is
it?
Contact them. I have their contact information, and I'm going to contact them.
I love it. Yes. I see that hand. Going once, going twice. Soul.
I don't know how you've kept the energy up all day, but good job. This has kind of been mentioned a few times throughout the day, but, I'm Veronica. I go by V. Nancy kind of pointed to this at the end, but don't rue the day of small things. And, I've heard it from Sonny earlier when he said the F's become D's, the D's become C's, the C's become B's, and the B's become A's. That doesn't happen overnight. That happens in small, incremental, continuously showing up, committed in small ways. And, Tyrone, I think you mentioned it too, when you guys are walking around your neighborhood, and it's just these little things that we can easily just overlook. These small little things of connecting with the people around us, empowering them to be people. And so what I'm gonna do about it is I'm gonna walk my neighborhood. I'm gonna get to know my neighbors more and just be praying for them in my own home, but getting to know them and getting them to know me and my kids and my husband and my family. And so, yeah, excited.
Woo! I love that. I love that. Our sister here, excellent. Okay, she's next after Finney.
Hermie Smith, a couple of things. Collaboration is really key. And then the other one was sharing about really utilizing our volunteers. There's low-hanging fruit, but really utilizing their skills more accurately in solving. So Pastor Dan and I talked, and I think really this Milpitas Cares platform that was built, we need to activate some follow-up team leaders, people that are called and are gifted, and we need to look at really training them, and they can be inserted into some of these ministries that is offered to then create the on-ramps to some of the other programs that they really will benefit, but they don't know it's there. So helping our churches to be better, like advertising and follow-up, I think they need some help, and we need to also raise up people with different languages, maybe that doesn't exist in the church congregation, and have a bench that can be deployed to really love and serve our cities well. So that's kind of what Pastor Dan and I don't think he's here anymore, but we committed to doing that.
Excellent, wonderful. All right. Sister. And I see that hand back there that you stood up. He's next, right there. The guy standing up with his hand up in the back, Ryan Mason Ryan.
Thank you so very much. I have so many things to take away, the good energies, the networking, but most of all, take off the labels. As Black women, immigrant, I know how label can make us feel uncomfortable. I know how heavy it's to label people. So thank you so very much, Pastor. We have to meet people where they are, as they are, a whole human being deserved to be loved, to be understood, and to be helped. Thank you so very much.
Excellent. I love that. All right, Ryan, what is after Ryan? We have a sister there, and then we have someone in the back, a brother too. But first of all, Mason, I get his first and his last name mixed up. Okay, Mason, what was your number one takeaway?
I think my number one takeaway today was connecting with a lot of individuals in here, but I want to commit to especially speaking to some of the at-risk youth, kind of all over the Bay Area as well in the Sacramento area, and I've made some connections that can open that door, and I absolutely am excited to go down that road and speak to them and just kind of tell my story and hopefully inspire them to do the right thing.
Wow. Yeah. So your takeaway was the people you met, and your commitment is to go share it. I love it. Great. Woo! Sister.
Hello, thank you so much for giving us this opportunity.
Right by the camera to the left.
To the left, okay. Well, I really wanted to direct my attention towards Firehouse. It's just amazing how you connect with people. I actually spoke with your operations director yesterday. I just met recently with Margaret Jackson. I'm assuming you know who she is. I just learned about this conference, and the only reason why I came was to listen to Firehouse. What are your services? What are your needs? And so I'm committed to see how the services that I have with my team can support your programs. So yes, that's what I'm committed to. So I'm Jonate, and I'm looking forward to connect with you.
I love that. Whoa. Wait. I have a question for you. You were not connected with them ahead of time?
Not at all.
Wow, guys.
Not at all. No, this is our first
Yay.
Yes.
We're bringing the community together. This is why we're doing this. I love it.
I think what all of you are doing is absolutely amazing for the Bay Area. And you never underestimate the power of a step. It all began with just one step. And all of you at one point were intimidated from taking that step, but you took it, and now look where you are. So you blessed me today. My name is Sean Nipstad, and we have a warehouse with CityServe in Martinez. And we really are so blessed to be able to partner with people to be able to pass these goods and services out. So if you want more information, please visit that table. We'd love to partner with churches to really provide the need. I know it seems so overwhelming, but we actually have a solution. So we'd love to see you at that table. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you. Who's next? And after that, there's a young lady here who put her hand up. She's going to go next. Okay.
Okay, my name is Andrew Stanton, and my takeaway, just like many of the others here, was the number of connections I've made and just the different ideas that I've learned at this event. This is the first time I've been to an event like this. And so what am I going to do about it? I think I might start a nonprofit.
Woo! Never underestimate the engineer. Woo! I love that. All right, who's next? Sister.
Hi there. Hi, everybody. My name is Malia. And this morning on the way here, I drove through the intersection of San Antonio and California, which is right the intersection of the literal birthplace of Silicon Valley. And so I was just asking the Lord, what are you calling me to do? How do I get activated? And 201 North First Street is the family courthouse for the county. And I'm hearing about fatherlessness today, really feeling called to familiar intervention, familial restoration. And it's something that's been on my heart for a while, but to start a prayer movement at at the family courthouse. So whether you're a domestic violence victim, you're getting a restraining order, whether you're getting a separation or a divorce, all of it happens at that courthouse. And I believe our very presence there can shift an atmosphere. We can bring hope. And so if you're interested in praying for the family mountain, I'd love to connect with you.
Thank you so much. All right, Anita, now I want to give a shout out to this young lady. She is an inspiration to me and a courageous. She was basically living a comfortable, successful, prosperous life on her journey and saw a movie that broke her heart, Cry of Freedom, Sound of Freedom. And so she decided she had to do something about it. So she's running for Congress to end human trafficking. And in the midst of, so refreshing, it's like, yeah, I'm going to move to her district so I can vote for her. And in the midst of this, she's plenty busy. She's just dove in and helped however she can and organized things. So I wanted to give a shout out to you.
Thank you, Ted.
What's your takeaway, and what are you going to do about it?
So when I first started thinking about running for Congress as a political novice, I thought, what are the principles that I've learned over the last 7 years as an English teacher and someone who studies the Word into this political process as principles that can guide my thinking? One of those principles is community healing. This is before I met Ted or any of the Innovate folks, and it was just this idea that homelessness, trafficking, addiction is not going to be solved, unfortunately, with another government program. Instead, it's going to be people meeting face to face, and what I'm hearing today, heart to heart, life to life, because that's where transformation happens. So my big takeaway and my big thank you to everyone is to say thank you for being the face of community healing, because I really think it's possible. If change is going to happen, it's going to start with rooms like this, with people like you, with a vision like Innovate, to say, this is our community, we take ownership over it, and healing is possible, and we're going to make it that way. My commitment is to continue to listen to survivor stories, to listen to community advocates, and do my best to reflect that throughout my campaign, my policies, and Lord willing, in Congress.
Thank you. Woo! Wonderful, thank you so much. After this session, after this town hall session, we're going to show a recap video, and someone's going to give me a signal when that's ready. We still have a few more minutes. Then we have this, we have a little bit of closing. We have another announcement. Nicole's going to share about what we're doing next and how you can come and join us. But then we're going to have this beautiful reception. During the reception, we've given the interview crew to Anita. So those of you who don't get to share right now, you can go up and go on the camera, on the record. It'll go through the whole YouTube channel. You can tell the whole world. If you don't want to tell the whole world, you talk to somebody else. Larry Brundage will hear your confession. I'm calling on you, Larry, too. She's going to have the camera crew. She's going to be out there interviewing you, and you can answer these two questions. Your number one takeaway and what you're going to do about it, or you can answer any other question she asks you. It's organic. It's a grassroots movement. We don't have to control this. All right? Woo! Who's next? No, he has the microphone. He's next. Someone get him the microphone. Oh, wait. We have a couple over here. He's in line. All right.
Is it on? Hello, I'm loud again. A huge takeaway for me is there's a lot of people who are working together and doing this. So my takeaway is hopefully from the collaboration I've done today, I'll be incorporating a lot of your organizations into what we introduce to people out in the communities that really need help. So I'll be doing that. I go out into encampments 4 days a week, and when I go out there, hopefully what I've been seeing today can help connect them to that. But also, I want to speak and just make one observation. Loneliness epidemic is going on, and people are saying we're praying for Christian revival. Two things are happening simultaneously. churches are empty everywhere. Some churches are barely alive since COVID, and we have a homelessness epidemic. So I think with a lot of prayer and a lot of collaboration and coordination with churches, we can start bringing people out who are in desperate need of Christ into the seats of these churches, and we can help connect people who are in need of community to people who are have Christ in their heart, who can bring Christ's love into their lives. So my takeaway is not only am I going to incorporate all these things I learned today and bring it out to them, but also hopefully continue to push this whole big church thing and help solve this crisis by helping eliminate that huge barrier that should not exist. Oh, hi, my name is Tyler. Thanks.
Albert.
Hi, I'm Albert with Love Never Fails. You know what I found out is I found a gap that I want to start a ministry for, a navigation ministry for incarcerated men. You know, you gave me a call, and Mason over there inspired me, because if I'm getting a call to help navigate somebody who's done all the footwork, but he didn't know where he was going to go, for somebody on the outside to have services, for somebody who's done the work, what county we're going to get in, who's his agent, and do some footwork to get him in the right place so he doesn't end up in the same town and go back because he's not in the right place or not with the right family. So I got all the network here. Get it done, get a Zoom meeting, get all, and we'll start a navigation ministry that we could work with No More Tears, Warriors Basketball, Kairos, and all that. So I'm super excited about that.
Woo! Wow. Hey, there was an engineer who's going to start a nonprofit, so maybe the two of you should connect. Ha ha! Wait, who's next? Yes.
Hi. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Mike Wash with Lau Family, and right there, my CEO, Kathy Chow Robert. A lot for me to take away. Anyhow, just do it. Okay, just do it. We have a lot of contact right here, and there's a lot of information for each of us to gather and get contacts. AI, earlier, I heard another person mention about AI. So is there a way that you can create an AI where you connect all these dots together and bring us back together and continue on the innovations of what we can make something different? We can just go out one person at a time and we can actually make it happen. Lau Family Table is out there. Stop by our stations. We can be part of the involvements, and we can make all the dots connected together, and absolutely we committed to transform life. So we're here to serve the community, just like all of you, so let's get involved. Thank you.
Ooh. I think, Yaniv, that's what you're building, correct? AI Web3 tool to coordinate our efforts so much better so that we can succeed. Wow. Thank you very much. And thank you for being a courageous. Let's give a big shout out to Yaniv and Gio for being courageous, taking the step, and doing this, making a statement. Let's do this in the Computer History Museum. Let's make a statement. Let's show you all the value you are, and let's call Silicon Valley. This is the next wave. This is the next new thing. Innovation that's going to solve the world's biggest challenges. So thank you, Yaniv, for leading the way. Woo!
Hello. Perfect. All right. Well, first and foremost, Yaniv, thank you. The inspiration of building multiple platforms, and to the extent that you've done and hosting this event. Innovate is by far a very literal name for what we're doing today, from the conversations that we've had earlier to the inspirations that came out of this. I've heard people now say that they want to start their own organization, or they need to open up a different chapter or collaborate with others. Our tables are open, our chairs are open to everyone and anyone that needs Firehouse services, that needs intervention, that needs creative curriculum in their communities. We have the Lau family. If anybody needs housing, I mean, there's so many people here that have something to offer. And please, if you don't have something to offer, be a part of something. And if you don't want to be a part of something, be innovative and be a part of all of us, all right? So as a community, my biggest takeaway is that community is definitely a staple for the kind of innovation that we're doing. This isn't a standalone innovation. This is an all-together innovation. I'm thankful for the pastors that went up and spoken to, our hearts about wanting to, create bigger paths and not being too small to be able to do big things by the Lord. And so we're here to shake hands. We're here to meet. Again, we want to contribute to the community. We want to be a contributor. We want to be a participator. And we want to put everything on the table to help each other out and to help you guys out.
Sweet. Did he commit to the one thing he's going to do about it? Wonderful. That's excellent. Thank you so much. There's a man over here. There's lots of hands going up. There are lots of hands going up. Oh, Sandy.
It's me.
Sandy.
Thank you for having me.
I love Sandy.
Oh my gosh.
She's part of the amazing team on Love Never Fails.
This is my fearless leader here. So I'm Sandy Carpio. I am the outreach manager with Love Never Fails, so outreach, and the volunteer and mentor coordinator manager. So we do all that, and I'd like you guys to please put your name out on the sign-up sheet out in the foyer, and if we can get in contact with you. I need all of you guys. We need all of you guys. The people that are out there waiting, they're waiting right now for you. And you. Like there's someone that's just waiting for you, only you. You're going to be the person that can connect with them. My takeaway is relationships and love. And that's what I have. That's what I'm getting. It's like just relationships. Together we can do this, but apart and division and all that, no, it's not going to happen. So we're here to build each other up and to take this world back for God, for me. For me, it's for God, for what he's done for all of us and given us, right? So that's all. Thank you.
I am so grateful for Love Never Fails. They are an incredible organization, and they are very good at what they do. Love Never Fails employs, 92% of their employees are survivors of trauma, and around 40% are former victims of human trafficking. Again, they're an organization that has a very excellent skill in this area, and they're not just doing great work, they're empowering the next generation of leaders out of the demographic they're serving. It is so powerful. When I think about that, I go, oh wow, the magnitude of the problem is actually the solution. Wow. Yes. Larry.
Sounds to me like L&F is in the building. Yeah, I love L&F. Yeah. So something was heavy on my heart a little while ago when Pastor Sonny and his lovely wife were up here speaking. And I want to say this address to you, 901 East Santa Clara Street. That's the address to Roosevelt Park, the park that Pastor Sonny was talking about, the park that I grew up at as a fatherless child, playing handball and going to the community center because I was looking for adults to be around. Okay, I was a very lost child. Then I came to know the Lord Jesus at age of 21 while I was sitting in 23-hour lockdown in the county jail for assault. God met me in that cell and transformed my life. Okay, I was lost and I didn't know what to do. I didn't know how to live, and I prayed a very similar prayer. God, I've messed it all up. I don't even know if you exist, but if you are, help me. And he showed up and helped me. I didn't know I would later go on to become a pastor of a very large church in an affluent side of town and now be a business leader for a faith-based Fortune 500 company that does advice, investing, insurance, banking, and generosity. So my takeaways here, I'll give them to you quick. Top one. It's gotta be Well, the top one has to be PB&J because that's just delicious, right? I want to share resources with all of you. I saw many of the organizations in this room offering some kind of financial coaching for folks that are getting back on track. I have a turnkey resource that's 3 free coaching sessions with a highly trained financial guide. They're not licensed salespeople. They come from pastoral background and or social work background. They will virtually get on video with you and in 3 sessions paint a picture, trim expenses, and then actually help set some goals and change kind of behaviors around money to change generational wealth. At a Fortune 500 level, that's free for everybody in this room and anybody you can think of that can use that kind of resource. Postcards are outside. All you got to do is click on the QR code and go book now and open a calendar and put a date on there. Yep.
That's he's with Thrivent Financial, a longtime friend, the OG of city transformation, really, and that's an excellent resource. Jim.
Yes. So, he's an excellent resource, but it's up to you to take advantage of all these resources you saw today. Nothing's going to change if you just go out there and disengage from all these wonderful resources. I was just thinking that we need to do more than have a conversation. We need implementation. You need to take the best practices here and go to that person. Once you leave, there's a lot of people that didn't even go up on stage, and there are wonderful resources here. So please take advantage of that.
So his takeaway was this meeting was awesome, and what he's going to do about it is stand up in front of all of you and exhort you to take advantage of it. Thank you, Jim. This lovely man here has been holding his hand up for a long time. Let's put him in the queue. Yes, sister, share. Tina.
Thank you so much, Ted, for inviting me. I'm sad that I wasn't here this morning. Very powerful. I'm so encouraged by all the organizations here. I am honored and pleased to be a chaplain for the juvenile system here. And I'm just getting ready to start a program with families giving their life to the Lord, because a lot of the families that I'm seeing are helping their children be delinquents, doing drugs and different things with their children. So prayers to help this get launched. My chaplain that I go in with, amazing, amazing, amazing. But what I'm taking away from this is just more encouragement. I was left for dead a year and a half ago, and so I'm getting my strength back, and getting more involved out in the community. But one of my greatest blessings is I've been doing this over 17 years in the system, in the mental wards, and what I'm seeing so amazing is a lot of the deputies are also giving their life to the Lord and pressing in with the children and learning to be a friend and teaching, and they do praise and worship and stuff with them. So thank you, Ted, for inviting me. I've always appreciated you. You're such a wonderful encourager.
Well, thank you for reaching out at the right time, and I'm so glad you could come. So her takeaway was she's blown away and she's refreshed at having gone ahead of all of us and been doing this, maybe feeling alone. And her commitment in front of the community is she's going to keep doing it, keep walking ahead, continuing forward, finishing well. Sir.
My takeaways, solving the homeless problem. About 2 doors down from where I live, there's a big church. It's clean, open, and empty because they closed down during the pandemic. This church combined with another church, and it just sits there. And every night, about 12 homeless people come and sleep around the edge of the church. I wonder, why can they not go inside the church? Our life group down in Santa Clara, the fellow in our life group, the building behind him is a church building. They shut down because there's nobody using it. I'm wondering how many church buildings are empty as a result of the pandemic that have homeless folks sleeping around them. We have people who can feed them We have people who can educate them. There's all sorts of means of providing for them. All we have to do is find out who has the keys to those doors and let them inside. There's kitchens in there, there's bathrooms in there, there's spaces in there. You could even separate the men from the women. Why is that empty space not being used? Now, I don't know these people. If I knew them, I'd go knock on their doors, but then what would I do? So I'm saying there is space for folks to sleep from under, to get out of the cold and sleep inside. Why can't we figure that out somehow? Or maybe somebody already knows the answer to that question.
Okay, that's a great takeaway and a great question. Wonderful. You want to answer that? Oh, no, he's got, okay. Your commitment is to exhort the rest of us to think outside the box to go solve this. Yes, and there's people in this room that have been saying the same thing you have.
So I live in Sunnyvale. I live on the poor side of Sunnyvale, not the Cupertino side, the other side. And it's clean and it's safe. And it's very close to Murphy Park. We used to call that Hobo Park, and now it's not that anymore. I mean, they used to call it. I'm not trying to be unkind. But there are folks that just come and sleep. We see them every night when we walk the dog. What do I do now? There are cars parked out in front, and the cars come and go every night. There's all sorts of places where we could house these folks if they wanted to be housed. That's a different issue. There's a solution there, a partial solution, and we can take care of all of them. Just somebody needs to know who has the keys.
All right, thank you very much. Kathy has something you can do. I think that's a City Serve, City Team shirt on, right? Okay, and he's committed to volunteer at City Team or help with City Team. There you go. All right. Who's next? Yes, in the back, and then. Hi. Guys, we're going to have until 4 more minutes, okay? So.
Great. My name's Jonathan.
And you don't get all 4 of them, okay?
I almost tried to sneak in there on you. I'm Jonathan Parkhurst. I'm the founder of a company called Go Seek Haven. Just really quick, and I'll tell you my takeaway, but from a show of hands, how many people in this room have ever lived unsheltered and homeless? It's more than I thought. So I spent 15 years unsheltered, homeless, imprisoned. I was a foster kid in Flint, Michigan. I was met by communities of people that had great ideas. Those ideas didn't quite match. I wasn't either felon enough, or I wasn't desperate enough, or there was these barriers for me to get in. And I noticed, thank you, Vanessa, for offering me to come. You know, without her today, I wouldn't be here. What I took away is that there is a community that you just need to know more about what I went through. You do. You need to know a little bit more about how to help those people at a larger scale. And Seek Haven is a platform that helps people when they go through the transition, they find a bed, they find it themselves. Put your beds on here. They can find it themselves. When they're there, the credit is being built while they're there. I'm working with the credit agencies. They automatically, it doesn't matter who's paying for it. And then we have a job placement platform. $100 million through other corporations raising their hands saying, I will give you a budget to hire these underprivileged, no-skilled workers right now. So you guys are doing it. I'm so thankful that there's a community. My takeaway is I'm not the only one.
Sweet. Sweet. And his commitment in front of the community is to learn more about this community and get on GeoBrowser. There you go.
Hey, I'll jump in quick. Chris Eichinger here. I wanted to say a big takeaway today would be synergy. I'm going to echo my friend Hermie over here, collaboration and working together. Alone in our community, we could do good things, but together we could do great things, truly. I'm passionate about the homeless space and making changes in our community. And one thing I find fascinating is the statistics in Santa Clara County. It costs us about $64,000 per homeless individual. And if you think about the biggest costs per person in our county, it's what? It's incarceration and it's emergency, ER visits at the hospital. People don't really rule those statistics in there when we're talking about a lot of the stuff we're doing. But if you go, a homeless person, if they need medical attention, where do they go? They go to the most expensive place, the emergency room. So you get emergency room, maybe 2 weeks of recovery, and then maybe incarceration, that is $64,000 right there, a couple weeks. And that's on the good day, is $64,000. So what can we do better to change that? We're all working really, really hard to do good things and create change in our community. But I implore us to work together more, to get more involved, to reach out to each other, and to build a better community together. Because if we work together, we could be a drop that has a ripple effect in our community. It could be the ripple effect that changes systemic poverty in somebody's life. It could also be the ripple effect that takes somebody from a path of hopelessness to a path of being in our community and being a valued part of our community, and giving them a chance, giving them a pathway to succeed and to do better. So I challenge you to get more involved, and that's my big takeaway today. Get more involved, do something. If you're already not, do something big, do something great. Reach out to your fellow person here.
Wonderful. And you'll meet with him if you want to volunteer at the city, at Salvation Army. Yes, thank you so much. Pastor Sonny, the lady in the back, there, then one, and then two. Yes, Danny Cox, you're the last voice. Okay, then that's it. Then we're going to wrap it. Okay, there we go. Sonny?
What I take away from everybody, it's teamwork that makes the dream work. If we all pull together, and I want to give one verse. It's in Proverbs 16:3. It says, commit to the Lord whatever you do and your plans will succeed. Everybody has great ideas, but we got to take them to the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords. His will is his bill, man. He'll bring it together. I go with $0, trusting God, and people just come say, hey, I believe in what you're doing. This guy came up to me with a check for $10,000. I hadn't even seen him. He said, God told me to come and help you, and handed me a check for $10,000. 2 weeks ago, a man came up to me. He said, I can't even sleep. God told me to give you this check. It was $10,000. A couple of weeks before that, another guy came and said, God told me to give you this check. It was $10,000. And like I told you, God's will is his bill, man. And the number one thing is love. It's in 1 Corinthians 13:8. 3 words God told me. Love never fails. He said, if you operate in love, it will always take you to the other side. And that's what lacks in the street. It's a love. It's a hug. It's a handshake. Firehouse is known by a handshake. The moment we meet you, we shake your hand. We don't care where you came from, what color you are. It's not about race. It's about people. When you leave the race out and just love people for people, it's going to change the world, man. God bless.
I am so grateful that Sonny is part of this community. Yes.
All right. My name is Emerald, and my biggest takeaway was that there is power and healing in the collective. So those that don't know me, I'm Emerald, and I'm a survivor of physical, emotional, and sexual trauma. And I wouldn't be standing here without nonprofit organizations like you guys. Because of what I've been through, trauma is not a bad thing. There can be so much power, so much purpose in your pain, and that's what I did with mine. So I have an organization called Set Free Marriage and Family Therapy, and I hold healing circles for survivors of sexual trauma. Most of my clients are DV survivors. A lot of the reasons why people, end up addicted, in jail, or homeless is because they have unaddressed traumas that have not been addressed. And so I'm so proud to call my spiritual parents, Sonny and Linda Laura, at Star of David, and my husband and I, we do marriage classes because we know that there is an attack on marriages and families. There needs to be more protection, and there needs to be more equipping for that unit. So my commitment is that I would love to train, whether it's churches, nonprofits, businesses. It's not okay that people have to drive 2 or 3 hours just to come to a healing circle with me. People are lonely. They don't want to meet on Zoom. They want to meet in person. They want friends. They want a network of survivors. They want a hug. They want to exchange numbers. And so get with me. I will train you on my 12-week program. I am not a gatekeeper. That is a pet peeve of mine. I will share my curriculum. I will share my worksheets. I think there needs to be more. So there needs to be more. My other commitment, I think, Anita, you said you want to hear more survivor stories. Well, hello. So we need to get together because there needs to be more survivor-centered laws because the time constraints on reporting and getting prosecution for the things that we have to go through is not okay. There should be no time constraints, right? But not only that, so last week I got to finally get justice for me. And, you know, my uncle, he had molested me and my sisters. And so we finally got justice after 30 years and after 4 years of fighting. And I got to tell my uncle that in spite of what you did to me, I forgive you and I love you. And I want there to be a push for more restorative justice circles so that survivors can face their offenders and to tell them that they forgive them, that they can understand them. There needs to be a conversation, not just punitive actions. There can be so much healing in the restorative justice circles. So I commit to that because we need both. There can't just be programs for offenders when they get out. Some of them never get out. And so there needs to be programs because they deserve healing too, because a lot of them are survivors too. So that's my commitment.
Let's give my sister a hand clap. Wow, wow, wow. I don't know her. I just met her. Well, I do know her because I know Sonny and Linda Latta. She jumped in, and in addition to this inspiring story, she is taking on the thankless task of helping us all be on time, running the timer back there, and just jumped in and served. That's what I love about this community. I feel like if there's a task that comes up, I can pretty much just pick anybody and ask you to do it, and you'll do it for me. It's jump in and let's do it from the top to the bottom. Woo! Thank you so much for sharing. That's amazing, okay?
All right. My name is Chris, and I believe that, you know, the Lord has put something in my heart to bridge a gap between people that are divided. And I'm also not just an American citizen, I'm also a citizen of Switzerland. And I really believe in diplomacy and that kind of stuff. And when I was in college, I joined a fraternity called Alpha Tau Omega. Alpha Tau Omega. It was the first Christian fraternity created in this nation. It was created after the Civil War when the enemy had burnt down the school of the three people that created this, and they created a fraternity to reconcile the North with the South. And so this passion of kind of bridging the gap is on my heart. And you know, this fraternity was created on September 11th, 1865. And what we're seeing now, there's this big political divide. And if we take a step back, what the Lord has also showed me is that in the past, I used to just pray to the Lord and then expect something to happen. But I've learned, no, you got to pray and listen. And what God says, and you go do it, and then he shows up and shows off. And as God has been speaking to me, he's opened my eyes to things that have happened. And I heard of this guy that was interviewed on American television in 1984, 40 years ago. His name is Yuri Bezmenov. He was with the Soviet Union. He was hired by the KGB to join a news agency called Novosti. And his professional business, he was sent to the nation of India, and his job was to subvert the nation of India. And what happened when he went there, he fell in love with the Indian people, and he realized, oh, what I'm doing is wrong, you know? And so he actually dressed up like an American hippie in the 1960s and was able to defect out and then live in Canada and US. And he wrote a book called A Love Letter to America. These guys, wake up. We are destroying your nation, and you don't even know it. You know, this whole idea of like boiling like a frog. And so what they've done, and they've partnered with the Communist Party of America to destroy this nation, and people aren't realizing it. But now, if you listen to his short interview, you can see everything that they were doing has happened. And so I'm happy to talk to folks afterwards, because this is kind of a longer thing. It's hard to explain in a short nutshell. But we're talking about homelessness here, and everything that you guys are saying is, I goosebumps when I'm hearing everyone speak. I mean, this is so awesome. We've got to do this. But a couple of things. One of them is
one takeaway.
The churches like to say, okay, we are feeding the poor, we're doing this, that. But when you talk about government, oh no, we don't get involved in government. Really? Well, it says in Isaiah 9:6, the government shall be on his shoulders, right? Here's the head of the church, and the body of Christ is the people, right? And the government has been given to the people, but many churches have kind of said, oh, no,
Excellent.
no, we're not going to get
So
involved.
your takeaway is you're inspired by this.
Yes.
And what are you committing to do? You're going to help Anita get involved in government?
Yes. And Anna Kramer that was here too.
Wonderful. That's a perfect transition too.
Because one of the things I should still say that's very important is, you can do everything you want. You guys can spend millions and millions of dollars of feeding the poor and stuff. But if you have a government that's saying, open the border and let all these people in and invite more homeless, and take all the taxpayers' money away.
You're right. That is a longer
That's not going to work very well, right?
And we're going to have that after. And you can assist Anita, who's going to, any of you who don't get a chance to talk, you're going to be able to talk to Anita, tell her your number one takeaway and your commitment of what you're going to do about it. And I am so glad that you're committed to get involved, get your hands dirty to change policy. All right? Danny Cox. Did I get it right? Yeah. Second time's the charm. See, his name tag is too far away. We just spent 2 hours together on Saturday. Okay, so Danny, you get the last word.
Thank you.
On the main stage of what was your main takeaway and what you're going to do about it.
Thank you. My name is Danny Cox. I'm a San Quentin, this sounds funny, alumni. God blessed me to get out 10 and a half years ago, and I am so thankful. That's where I met Ted at. And can I share something with you really briefly? Ted is for real. The same love he blessed you guys with, he come to San Quentin and give us that exact same love. So thank you so very kindly, Ted. My takeaway, and I don't want to get emotional, an immense amount of love in this room. Thank you so very kindly. It's tangible. You can just touch it. You can feel the love. Thank you guys so much for that, though. My commitment, I live in San Jose. My church is in Oakland, but I live in San Jose. I want to join a volunteer group and serve. That's my commitment. Amen.
Wonderful. So guys, this guy's a Jim. He's a real Jim. So there's several groups, recruit him to volunteer for your group if you're in San Jose. There you go. All right, folks. Woo! Let's give a hand clap to our media team. And we're also clapping for our team in India that's been working really hard. They love this movement. In fact, they're wanting to get visas to come over here to come be part of this for real. And they've been producing all our videos. So they produced an incredible recap video that we're going to watch right now. And then after that, Nicole is going to come up and we are going to wrap and then move to our reception. Okay, so cue video. What is the biggest challenge? Is it homelessness? Is it human trafficking? Is it prison recidivism? Is it mass incarceration?
The root cause is fatherlessness, the most destructive trend of our society.
Superman is not going to come and save us. We need to save ourselves.
The road to success is a long path, and if you're willing to stick to it, the outcomes are going to be greater than if you to take the other road.
The city said, "Can you help change Roosevelt Park?" I said, "Yeah."
I need you
to see the people that are out there like they're your children.
How we might more effectively harness all the positive energy around empathy for the unhoused.
We believe in loving your neighbor.
It's not an accident that you're here.
Through collaboration, we can create powerful change.
By empowering them, developing them, and then transforming them into the real world.
They loved me until I could love myself. And they wrapped every supportive tool, resource, and service around me so that I could reclaim my life and realize my full potential.
You can be more than what you think you are, the same way I learned that I could be more than what I thought I was.
And for those of you that might be feeling like you get pushed into innovation, get pushed into philanthropy, don't stop. Accomplish the goal that's set before you.
When it comes to technology, the Bay Area is what drives technology.
Make San Francisco the first city in the country with universal access to legal representation.
My metric should be how many nights per year are people languishing on our streets? That accounts for the number of people and the duration, and there's no excuse for that to not be zero.
Structuring this information, we can actually have much higher quality discussion, so we're not just shouting at each other.
As I've come to understand that God owns it all, and that I have an opportunity to be a steward of the wealth He's entrusted me with.
Woo! Yash, you overperformed. Thank you. That was beautiful. That was beautiful. All right, let's welcome Nicole up with a clicker. Make sure you have a clicker to advance your slides. And one of my takeaways from this is, one of my great takeaways was Nicole is a ninja. This woman is working so hard and making this event an excellent success. Let's give a big hand clap to Nicole.
Thank you.
And I won't tell you, when I went to bed and she was up all night working and then came here and just nailed it today. So now tell us about the House of Web3.
And thank you, Ted. This was definitely a team effort. Let's give Ted a round of applause. And our other co-conspirator, Paul, I'm not sure where he is at the moment, but Paul, there you are in the back. We couldn't have done this alone. So let's go here first. Can we advance that slide? Okay, so some of you are asking, how can you get involved? Every Wednesday in San Francisco, we meet at the House of Web3 from 12 to 1:30. We hold space. We connect, we learn, and we act. And I invite you all to come and join us. This is where the seed was planted for this event, and it has really blossomed quite beautifully, and I'm very proud of what we have created. So please, we invite you to come and join us. We're a group of bright minds with big hearts, just trying to solve some of these challenges that we're being faced with today. And it's going to take each and every one of us to show up. So we wanted to extend this invitation to you. And I also just wanted to thank each and every one of you and every single presenter that showed up today to share their expertise. Wow. I am feeling inspired, and I hope you are too. Please give all our presenters a big round of applause. We also couldn't have done it without a team of amazing volunteers. I'm going to give another shout out to Emerald. Man, that girl. Woo! I knew you were the woman for that job, and you really went above and beyond. We just have, Eric and the entire stage team that was here working tirelessly to make sure our production went flawlessly. And really, none of this would be possible without Gio. So let's give it up for Gio. And we want you to get involved. Geo is an amazing tool, and it's a platform that we can all use to coordinate better, to organize our information so that we can make better decisions. So please, we have opportunities for you to sign up, get onboarded onto Geo, learn about the tools, see how you can get involved, show up at one of our meetups, and really ultimately just connect with our community. We're here for you, we're here for each other, and we look forward to growing together. So thank you so much.
So she's inviting you all to lunch on Wednesday, beginning next Wednesday, 12 to 1:30 at the beautiful Presidio at the House of Web3 for the We Heart SF lunch, where their philosophy is using Web3 to solve San Francisco's biggest challenges. Our goal is to model something in San Francisco and here in the Bay Area that's going to change the world. Let's get all in. I'm inviting you to get all in. I am all in with this movement, and I am there not every Wednesday, but every Wednesday when I'm in town, I'm up there and at that lunch, and it's a highlight of my week, and it's such a creative environment. Okay, so you guys were mistaken. You thought the title of my closing keynote was "The End is Just the Beginning." That is actually the total script of my closing keynote. The end is just the beginning. This is a movement that's just starting. The power is in you. Let's make it happen. And now we have a wonderful time to let the traffic die down, enjoy the reception, and enjoy each other's company while you're here. So you're welcome to stay until Nicole eventually tells us we all have to leave and kicks. And she'll tell me, and then I'll kick you all out. Okay? All right. Well, let's give one big last hand clap, and then we're heading to the reception. And that's the close of Innovate.